Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, everybody. Come on in and settle down. Let me know how you're doing. If you could comment and let me know that you can hear me, I would appreciate it. Feel free to share this with your seller friends so that they get to hear about this too, because this is I was actually surprised when I heard this. And actually, quite a few people believe this lie, which is why I'm streaming on it, because I want you to know the truth. And again, I'm willing to learn. I mean, so if I hear something and I go, I don't think that's true, and if it ends up being true, I'll stand corrected. So I'm very much about check it out. What's the facts? Let's get to the bottom of this. But this is a big eBay lie that I'm catching quite a few sellers believing. So let's put an end to this. So let me know that you can hear me. Let me know how your weather is today. It's very humid in New York. And I've got to give a shout out to the eBay for Business podcast team. Sent me this lovely t-shirt. Thank you. Depending on your monitor, it'll look different colors, probably purple. So thank you, eBay for Business. I appreciate it. I love getting shirts. So thank you. Check in. Let me know how you're doing, and we'll get right to this, you guys. So hang on. Let me just check in and see how everybody is. And if you don't know me, I'm Kathy Terrill. I am an eBay education trained specialist. I was trained by eBay on how to sell. I started very small over 12 years ago and have scaled an eBay business to well into 6 figures. I am a trained eBay sales success coach. I also coach on social media. I help sellers of all sizes. I work with sellers of all different kinds of sizes scale on eBay. So that's what I'm here to help you with. What my expertise is, and I often present with eBay teams, is to get to the truth. What is accurate? What works? What doesn't work? And when I tell you something, I document it. I go, this is where I'm getting my information from. This is why it's reliable. And I date things. So let me date this. This is August 23rd, 2019, because if you're not aware of it, policies change like that. And that's this thing that I heard, and that's why I researched it, is something could have been true 2 or 3 years ago, and it's not true now. So that's why you've always, and it can be a little challenging. So please feel free to watch me when I stream, and also check out my YouTubes. It is work to stay on top of everything. And that's one of the reasons why I stream, to help you guys out. Because I want you to have the information that's accurate, so that when you are listing and when you're doing social media, you're not wasting time. I hate wasting time. I remember years ago, I had a really ornate template. I don't know if anybody else had one of these. This is going to date me, because I think, gosh, it had to be like late 80s. Very ornate templates were in. And if you've been selling on eBay for a while, not only were ornate templates in, but if you landed on eBay, some people's listings, when you landed on them, they played music. You would land in the listing and you would hear Star Spangled Banner or all kinds of things. And they weren't selling that music. The music was to get your attention, to keep you on the listing. I mean, things on eBay have changed quite a bit. I haven't run into one of those. I have run into some ornate templates. And the reason you don't want a very ornate gobbledygook template is it makes it hard to scroll on mobile. So let me just check and see how everybody is. Hang on. So you don't want to do that. You want a nice clean listing, and it's really about that it's easy to scroll, because over 60%, and it's growing, over 60% of the sales now on eBay are touched by mobile. They may not be on their phone or their tablet, but the shoppers are looking at it on mobile. So that's why you want a nice, clean, easy to read listing. You don't want, mine had, I used to sell old films, VHS films. So mine had like film things on it, and movie projectors, all kinds of stuff. I had to get rid of it all. And I had spent a lot of money on that nice template. So anyway, things change, and you just got to shake it off and move on. And it's like, yep, it changed. So let's just see you guys. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, you're all with me. Yay. So hang on a sec. Whoops, let me knock the volume up. There we go. Hi, Pam. How are you? Thank you for joining me. I see Sharon. How are you? Chicago. Yay. Philip, Brenda, PJ, Dale, Kathy, Birdie. Great, you guys. Thanks so much for jumping in with me. So this is what I was thinking about, is that you can hear things and it can sound right. I was thinking about reading labels. is, so for instance, I've got a bag of Doritos. My husband loves baked Doritos. And if I read the label of my baked Doritos, I should have brought them in. It'll be like 15 Doritos or an eighth of a cup of Doritos or something like that is 100, 150 calories because it's the baked ones, right? So if you look at the label quickly, I've done this on things. You go, oh, Doritos, 100 calories. Like, this is great. And what you don't read is the 100 calories is the portion. And then you got to read that there's 10 portions in the bag. So if I eat a quarter of a bag or a half a bag or the whole bag, it's not 100 calories. It's not 100 calories a bag. It's 100 calories a portion. And I have to read it, the detail, and I have to do the math. Otherwise, I'm deceived. I'm just glancing at it. I go 100 calories. I think, okay, the whole bag's 100 calories. And then you get on the scale a couple days later and you're like, oh, what happened? Okay. So for us is, and I know most of us are what's called a solopreneur, where it's just us. So it's like I'm listing, I'm taking pictures, I'm doing my shipping, I'm sourcing. I realize time constraints is slow down. It is far better to slow down. It is far better to maybe only get 8 listings up or 10 listings up or 15 or 20 instead of whatever number I think I should, and to do it right than to get a bunch up and there's errors there because I haven't read. And this is what came up, and it was about promoted listings. And if you are unfamiliar with promoted listings, or if you think you know promoted listings, it is eBay's paid search. And what it is that, and it's in the listing flow now, so there's a couple of ways to access promoted listings, is that you choose to put your listing, and now anybody who is above standard qualifies to use promoted listings, and that is something that has changed. When it first rolled out, it was top rated sellers only and for stores, and that has changed. It's now all sellers that are above standard. You don't need a store, and you don't need to be top rated. So an enormous pool of sellers now qualify to do promoted listings. You choose, it's free will. You choose what rate, if you choose to do promoted listings, you want to pay. It is a percentage of the final price that your item sells at, okay? So if it's $10, you have your promoted listings, you have the percentage, you know how much you're going to pay eBay, in addition to any listing fee you might be liable for and any final value fee. It is in addition to your final value fee, okay? And again, there's several ways to access it. I'll show you the information on it if you want to take a look at it. Now, this is the confusion that came up, and I can understand because it is a little confusing. And I want to show you this because I like to show what I'm talking about. So hang on a second. Let me just share my screen. Share. And let me make sure I share my screen because last time I didn't, and I apologize about that. So hang on a second. And we're going on eBay. And I want to make sure my screen is showing. So hang on, you guys. I'm going to make sure it comes up and make sure. Well, I'm pretty sure it says it's sharing. So yes. Okay. So what I did was I searched Coach bag. I wanted to search something that is pretty broad. Okay. And in case you didn't know, and this is how I know, there's over 56,000 Coach brand bags on eBay. This is a huge amount of bags, okay? So for me, if I was listing on eBay, because it is such a huge category, very popular category, doing promoted listings is probably, at least for me, I would recommend to seller friends of mine, if you're listing a Coach bag, I would definitely recommend it doing promoted listings because it is so fiercely competitive. I want to help stand out, okay? All I did was search Coach bag. None of these are my bags. And if I click on one of your bags, yeah, you're getting a little of attention, okay? If the bag is in a promoted listing, so the seller has promoted it, if you hear some noise, it's Friday night in New York City. It says sponsored, okay? You see this writing? It's very small, but it's there. it says sponsored. That means I am seeing it from a promoted listing that the seller has done. So eBay is promoting that bag because that seller has put their Coach bag into a promoted listing. If I click this listing or this listing, they're both sponsored, and I buy, the seller is going to be assessed their regular final value fee and the promoted listing fee, whatever percentage the seller picked. Okay, let me just scroll down. And then these other bags here do not have the word sponsored on them, so it means that is not a promoted listing. They will not get an additional fee if I click on it and buy it. Okay, now this is where the confusions come up. So what I heard was, when you're listing, so let's say this is me, let's say this is my bag, this new women's Coach bag. Once it's listed, so I've listed it, and as I'm listing it, I put it into a promotion. Okay, I'm not waiting, I'm putting it right in. If I then was to take me the seller, take my bag and pin it or tweet it or Facebook, and I'm going to click on this person's bag. So again, I'm the seller. I list, ooh, last one, there's 5 sold in 24 hours. This must be a good deal. I listed this. I put it in a promotion and promoted listings. Again, I am the seller. If then from my listing, I put it on Pinterest, tweet it or Facebook it, and also just for you to know, I have, with Pinterest, you can put a browser extension. I use Chrome. Same thing. If I'm pinning it, I remember I clicked the sponsored link. I'm coming in on it. What this one seller believed and posted was that, so I'm putting this bag on Pinterest or wherever I'm putting it, Twitter or Facebook, that the promoted listing link carries with it to social media. Okay, I don't know if you've heard this, but I actually heard it from a couple of people. Okay, that is not true. How do I know this? I investigate. One is I was on the beta team for promoted listings. I know a lot about promoted listings. I knew it wasn't true, but I was like, okay, I know it's not true. Let's explain this. So what you need to understand with promoted listings, let's hop over to promoted listings. So just Google eBay promoted listings. And this is the page you end up on. I want to make sure that this is the page that's showing. It gives you all the information. It's very extensive. They have all kinds of guides and suggestions, okay? Blah, blah, blah. Getting started, best practices, additional resources. And when I clicked, what does a promoted listing look like? Where do they appear? Okay. Promoted listings is a function of eBay search. Promoted listings is not a function of Pinterest. It is not a function of Twitter or your Facebook business page, okay? It is an eBay ads function. In case you're not aware of it, promoted listings is part of eBay advertising. So when you're listing or after you're listing and you're taking your listing and you're putting it into promoted listings, I am paying eBay advertising to promote my listing on eBay. If a shopper, me clicking on the Coach bag, clicks on the Coach bag, buys the Coach bag from that sponsored, we looked in search, it said sponsored, that seller is assessed the extra fee. If you list and you put it into promoted listings and then you share it to Pinterest, you share it to Facebook, you share it to Twitter, just because the item is in promoted listings, you do not get an extra fee from the person then discovering the item on Pinterest or Twitter or Facebook, clicking that link, the Pinterest link, the Facebook link, the Twitter link. You are not assessed an extra fee. eBay is not promoting the item. You are promoting the item. Promoted listings is a function of eBay advertising. It's eBay pushing out your listing in all different places, and it's not just the center feed. Back to our Coach Purse. Let me just show you this. And let me back arrow out of this. When you search, in case you didn't know, on promoted listings, it's not just this feed. It will also show in functions like shopping cart. When you're checking out, eBay will suggest, oh, wouldn't you like this? Promoted listings will show there. So promoted listings is not just best match, not just the center feed on eBay. It's all different places. When you log in, it might be there. Oh, last time you were on eBay, you were looking at this Coach Purse. Maybe now you would be interested in this Coach Purse. And it'll always say, and that's how I'm going to show this to you, sponsored. Whenever you see a listing that says sponsored in little writing like that on eBay, it is a function of eBay promoted listings. But if you as the seller, once your item is promoted, then click and share it to any social sharing site, any social media site. And if the buyer would then find it there, click it and come to eBay, you do not get a promoted listings fee. Okay. Now, if they come onto eBay, let's say they click the Coach Purse, they come onto eBay and they see another Coach Purse, which does have the sponsored link on it, then they click the sponsored link, then yes, whoever that seller is, whether it's you or somebody else, they are going to get a promoted listings fee. So hang on a second. And again, your best information, just Google promoted listings and you will get this. And let me read you this. It says promoted listings, and what I'm reading is right here by the golf club. Promoted listings included relevant information from your listing, include the primary, blah, blah, blah. Promoted listings, this is now under the golf club. Promoted listings may appear throughout our network. That's ebay.com, including desktop and mobile. So it might show up on mobile. It might be on the computer, okay? It'll show on the app. And product pages. Sometimes when people log in and it's a Nikon camera, whatever, they have a page for that. And they might feature you there if you're a Nikon camera. Placement and ranking influenced by a variety of factors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So that's what I wanted to make really, really clear is when you do promoted listings, and I do recommend it, you do pick the rate, you do not pay the fee unless they see it, they see that little word sponsored, they click it and buy from a direct click, and they have 30 days from the initial click. So if I look at the Coach Purse, I don't buy it, but I clicked it, and I clicked it from a promoted listing, and I come back 2 weeks later and I buy it, the exact same purse, the exact same listing, that seller is assessed the rate. Okay? And that's what I wanted to explain to you. Now, while we're on the subject of getting sales, so I highly recommend promoted listings. It helps you to rank and search. You pick the rate. I'm finding most people get about 20 to 30% of their sales from promoted listings. Do the math, check it. There's one thing they always say on Shark Tank, which is something I remember when they're negotiating rates. I love watching Shark Tank, and sometimes, you know, the person that's negotiating with the shark, they're like, you know, they don't want to give such a big percentage to Barbara or Mark or Robert, whoever they're negotiating with. They want to only give 20% or 15% or 10%. And I've heard Mark Cuban say this, I believe Barbara, but I think they pretty much all said this. It is better to have 70% or 60% of something that's making you money than to have nothing on something that's not making you any money. So rather than just to have that inventory sit there or take much longer to sell, because promoted listings is going to help me to get it sold. And that's what I'm in is I want you to be making cash. I want you to pay your bills. I want you to have a healthy business. Far better to pay eBay $2, $3, whatever amount of money it is, depending on the price of the item and the rate that you set, than to have it sit there. I mean, do I really want it sitting there for months and months and months and months and months? I'd rather get that sale, get the money. I can go buy more inventory, pay bills, do whatever. And I just want to share. So let me share this with you. So one thing about selling and selling successfully is you always want to be ahead on selling seasons. And right now, in the middle of August, is actually really interesting because we are still going through back to school. Back to school goes to about the middle of September. So there's definitely still back to school shoppers on eBay. So yay for back to school shoppers. And when they're shopping back to school, they also shop other things. Yay on that. But we're already into Halloween, and people are already buying Halloween costumes, Halloween decor, and you want to make sure you get yourself optimized for that. So if you go to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, click free tips, and then you want hot Halloween product tips, and grab this. Halloween is so interesting because a lot of people think, I know I used to do this, I don't have any costumes. I mean, I don't have any costumes. I don't have, you know, the ghost costumes. I don't have ladybug costumes. I don't have costumes. I don't have costumes for kids. I don't have costumes for grown-ups. I don't have costumes for pets. Pet costumes are in, by the way, now, if you didn't know that. I don't have costumes. I don't have wreaths. A lot of people like to decorate with the fall wreaths. I don't have all that home decor. I don't offer that. But there's a lot more to Halloween and fall that meets the eye. And there's a lot more to Halloween costumes and dressing up for Halloween and Halloween parties and festival parties, harvest parties, than meets the eye. It's not just dressing up like goblins, or for younger kids, the ladybugs and the cute little costumes for the kids and pet costumes. There's a lot more. There's a lot of fashion accessories that people will pick up, and they're going to be using for Halloween costumes. There's a lot of Halloween decor that you may not think of as Halloween decor, but it sells as Halloween decor. And if you don't know, I was in brick and mortar retail for over 25 years. So I've put together a really extensive list. It's absolutely my gift to you. So hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, click free tips, and then click hot Halloween product tips and grab that for yourself. Okay? Good. So that's my tip to you is don't be scared of promoted listings, and don't be scared of sharing on social media after you do promoted listings. It's like, do it. Absolutely to promote you. It's like, yes, promote me, show me in search. I want to do that. But then you go ahead and then put it on Pinterest or your Facebook business page or Twitter. You're getting assessed a promoted listings fee because they're coming from your link, just because you have promoted that item already. Okay, good. I wanted to just really break through with that because I could see it was keeping some people from using promoted listings, and so many categories are so competitive. It is very, very hard, even with a really great optimized listing, to stand out in those categories like Coach purses. I mean, come on, 56,000 bags. I'm like, oh my goodness, without doing promoted listings. So pretty much every category is very, very competitive. It is worth it to give eBay a small percentage to help them to push your listing out within eBay search. And then don't be afraid to go ahead and do social media. Okay, grab my hot Halloween product tips, because I want you to know, I mean, there'll be all kinds of inventory that you have on hand that's perfect for Halloween. And again, you can be promoting that and putting it on social media and getting extra sales because they're shopping right now for back to school and for Halloween. So I want you to get those sales. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.